Hello, everyone. Welcome to Consistence Place channel. Welcome to Consistence Place channel. Today is a new day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Hello. Welcome to Consistence Place channel. Welcome. Today is a new day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Welcome everyone to the live stream. Today we have our topic 10 unrealistic expectation African parents set on their children. Come in guys and let's discuss this wonderful topic. Come in guys, let's discuss this wonderful topic. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate you coming. Welcome. Anybody in the building, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to thumbs up for your host. Thank you so much for coming. Hello, Wise Bunny. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you coming. How are you today? Give a thumbs up to the host. And our topic for today is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much, Wise Bunny. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? Say something if you are in the stream. Today we are going to be talking about 10 unrealistic expectations that African parents set on their children. So come in, let's discuss. Wise Bunny. Oh, you're fine doing some work, Wise Bunny. Thank you for letting us know. How are you? You're fine doing some work. Are you working on your YT? Are you working on your YT? I wish you the best in your work. Today we are going to be doing discussing on 10 unrealistic expectations that African parents set on their children. If you are from Africa, you can relate to this, the kind of expectation that parents set on their children that are just so unrealistic. Come in, let's discuss. Took a break from editing, my head hurts. I'm here, consistent. Oh, thank you so much, Wise Bunny. Thank you so much for coming. Wise Bunny, I will check you out after this, okay? Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you coming. So, do you have any unrealistic expectation that African parents set on their children? Do you know of any, Wise Bunny? 10 unrealistic expectations that African parents set on their kids. We have 7 people in the building. Say something in the chat so we know you are here. I hope some people are still watching the ads. Let's give them some time to join us. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate. 5 likes. Thank you so much, guys, for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. Let's see if others can join us. Hello, Cubs Den. Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking and sharing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Cubs Den. Good morning, sis. How are you today? How are you today? Today, our topic is 10 unrealistic expectations that African parents set on their children. So, if you know any unrealistic expectation, guys, let's expand that list. Let's expand the list. African parents have a lot of expectation that they set on their children, and among them are just some unrealistic expectations. I'm blessed. Thanks for asking. How are you and family? Thank God for the family, my dear sister. God is good and His grace is sufficient for us this day. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate. Thank you so much for asking. So, we are going to start on the topic. Thank you. We have 5 concurrent viewers, 7 likes. Oh, thank you so much. One for sure is all their kids have to either be doctors. You just started. It looks like you have my list on because then all their kids have to be doctors, engineers, and lawyers. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that one, Cubs. And that's actually the first on my list. African parents set expectation on their kids. They decide on the kind of job their kids will do. You either have to be a lawyer, either have to be a doctor, you either have to be an engineer. The Miss Yo-Yo Show, welcome to the building. Thank you for coming. How are you? The Miss Yo-Yo Show, I appreciate you coming here. Thank you so much. Welcome to the live stream. Today our topic is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their kids. Thank you for coming. So we are heading into the first one. They decide the kind of job their kids will do. Their kids either have to become a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer. Let's talk about this one. When a child is born into a family, these parents go through peer pressure because the neighbor's child has become an engineer. Because thank you, Miss Yoyo, for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. When your neighbor's children have become engineer, your sister's kids are doctors, your other kids in the neighborhood are lawyers. You actually want your kids to become doctors so that you can relate to them. Not knowing that when you have kids, everybody comes to this world with a purpose. You have a child that grows up and just feel like they want to become a teacher. You will not encourage that child. You say, oh, don't bring disgrace to my family. You want to become a teacher, a wretched teacher. Don't bring disgrace to my family. Or you have a kid that wants to become a businessman, because African have parents have this idea that business most of the time is for those who have failed, or is for those who have a lot of money, a big capital to start. When you start saying that you want to become a business person, they think that you don't know what you are talking about. I guess if you were not great with hands, you have no choice but to be a lawyer. Yeah, even when you're great with hands, sometimes you tell your African parents that you want to become a farmer. Oh my goodness, that is a whole disgrace to the family, right? It's like a whole you are bringing disgrace or curse to the family if you tell your parents that you want to become a farmer. Did they just have this limited view about other parts in life apart from being a lawyer, a doctor, and an engineer? If you say you want to become a farmer, all they see is you working, digging your hole and working is a little amount, a small amount of cocoyams and yams to sell in the market and make. They don't know that you can encourage that child in that line of agriculture where they will become an engineer in their farming. Then they'll produce in industrial quantity. They'll become big farmer. They'll do farming in a wide scale. They'll do farming in an expanded scale and produce like in an industrial scale. They don't see it that way. They don't feel like they can nurture you in your path. They don't feel like they can nurture you in your path to make a big deal out of whatever you are doing. Uh, Yeah. So I have a son. I have my son. When he was a little boy, he always says that he wants to be a firefighter. So each time someone, and he was so passionate about this firefighting that even when each time he calls like family back home and they like want to like talk to him, and he says I want to become a firefighter. Say what, firefighter? Friends will come over to the house or family will come over to the house. Each time my son says he wants to become a firefighter, they will just see that look on their face, like, or some will just bounce on him directly that you want to become what? A firefighter? So you have come to America to become firefighter, guys. Cops then say, cops then Wise Bunny say, cops then prepare yourself for what's coming during Christmas. Okay. Cops then say, they will say, why have you chosen to disgrace me? Farming? Who does that? Yeah, that's the way they see it. Farming? Who does farming? And they forget to know that if a lawyer doesn't have food, they go to the grocery store. Where does the food in the grocery store come from? If a farmer goes, if a lawyer goes to the market and there is no yam, what will the lawyer eat? What will your engineer eat if there is no farmer? Or you think that some people were cursed to be farmers and some blessed to be lawyers? Trust me, a lot of farmers are doing extremely better than lawyers. A lot of farmers are doing extremely better than engineers. A lot of farmers are doing extremely better than doctors. Don't tell me about a doctor who is in that career to please the parents. You know them in the hospital. They are not even passionate about their doctor job. They are just doing it to please somebody else. They don't do it with passion. Whereas if you are a farmer and you are passionate about how big your yam is, how much bigger you want to see that yam become, you want to go to that farm. When you go to your bed, you feel delighted in the morning to wake up and go to your farm. If you just enjoy seeing crops grow, you enjoy to go to the market and see how people are buying, you just have passion in that domain. That's what you were called to do. That's how parents help kids to find themselves in the wrong careers. And you see grumpy lawyers who are all about corruption, bribe, but a passionate lawyer will actually seek for justice. How many engineers have we seen, guys, or those of us here in the diaspora? How many engineers have we seen after they come here, they go study engineer, they revert back to business, they revert back to farming or to other things just because they were doing someone else's car. They go to school, they study engineering, they come out, it's not them. It doesn't tie with their vision. It doesn't tie with their passion. It doesn't tie. They revert. Smart kids will revert to what their passion is all about or to what their purpose or their calling is all about. But on smart kids will dwell there and live in depression. And sometimes the kids might not even end up coming out of this dilemma of doing another person's pleasing. Some kids don't even realize that they're pleasing their parents. So that means you 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 control your child's career in a way that that child is doing that career just to please you. In fact, you have put your child's life in prison. Yeah, so many engineers are doing something opposite. Let me catch the comment. Mm, Wise Bunny, I'm trying experiment. You will have to see when it happens. Wise Bunny, oh yeah, any teasers? Well, cops then, no, you just have to wait till December. You will see when it happens during many experiments just to see what I can do with my creativity. My brother did engineer but doesn't have career in engineering. Wise Bunny says that's true. A lot of people do things that they had no business doing. Was probably because the parents pressured them in, or probably because peer pressure, or probably because that was the only opportunity left for them to do. And you realize this, that when they do that, as soon as they discover who they are, they revert to where they belong. They revert to where they belong. I have I have I have a nephew. It's a nephew in Lord who came to the US. This boy is so passionate about the gospel, about the work of God, that he had a pic he took a picture with a Bible in his he took a picture with a Bible in his hand and posted it on Facebook. And when he posted it on Facebook, I laughed at a comment. Someone came to the comment. I don't know, some neighbor where they used to live back in Africa came to the comment and said, did they send you to America to become somebody, or they sent you to America to become a pastor? And then some other person came underneath the comment and said, is pastor not somebody? In fact, the comments were hilarious. You needed to see the argument that came out of that picture that my nephew posted on Facebook. It was just hilarious to see how the mentality of Africa. Sharon and family, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us. And today's topic is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their kids. Sharon and family, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, my dear. Comes then said there is not such thing as pressure them to do. It is not a discussion, it is an order, more like for your information and action. Wise Bunny said I did art, drama, French, and computer science for my goals, but those subjects have nothing to do with my passion. Maybe the closest one would be art. Wise Bunny, Sharon, hey, okay, guys, let's see this. African parents, they don't ask your opinion. They just tell you you have to become a lawyer so that when I sit in my company with my peers, I can say I have a daughter. She's a lawyer in Canada. My son is a doctor in America. My daughter is an engineer in California. That's all they want. There is nothing after. It's just so that they can sit and brag and feel fulfilled for themselves, not minding what the kids are thinking about, not minding about what is good for the happiness of their children. Once their children do that to please them, they get that gratification. They don't really care about. And that's how you end up seeing so many kids or so many people ending up in careers just pleading your person. Good enough, some people find their purpose and follow their right track. Some people never do, and the end that's the cause of depression, competition, hatred, and jealousy. Because you find a lawyer, a doctor feeling jealous about some farmer. It is because they feel like they belong there, but they are not there, but they don't know how to deal without feeling. Consistence place, we are doing fine. We thank God. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. So I highly doubt anyone goes out to do what they study. Some do. Some people do. Some people actually do. I was telling you guys here that my son wanted to be a firefighter. And for me, I really admire the passion for which he wanted to be a firefighter. Other people were not happy about it because they say, oh, firefighter is risky, you deal with fire. Or some people say firefighter is not that a good of a job, it doesn't pay much. Everybody had something to say. But for me, what I saw is the passion that was driving that child to become a firefighter. Everything firefighter, he was so connected. Actually, I was planning, although I never got to do that, I was actually planning to take him to a fire station so he can walk through and get a feel of how it is. Because me, what was I seeing in him? I'm seeing that this is somebody with passion. Just imagine that my house catches fire. I would love for a passionate firefighter to come and rescue me. And if that is my son, God bless you, son, go ahead. Firefighter, if you go into that field of firefighting, you will not only remain in the base level, go up. Firefighters were trained by people. Firefighter has a head of the department. Firefight, even the fire trucks were built by a big firefighter engineers. So when you hear firefighter and you only hear a small, all what you see is the smallest firefighter, you are limiting your vision and you have no way to promote that child. For me, when I see that my child will go into firefighting, I see that this child will go to firefighting, and I don't only have to encourage him to limit himself at the lowest level of firefighting. I want to promote him to grow through firefighting, even to become a firefighter trainer or head of firefighter, and do discoveries for firefighting, how firefighting can get better, how firefighting can get to another level. I don't just have to leave. That's why I was nurturing him. But unfortunately, he changed his mind as he grew up. I realized that was just one of the kids' passion that he had. Hello, let me catch up with the chat. We have Steffi's Corner is in the building. Welcome, Steffi Corner. Thank you for coming. Roslyn Gist Me TV, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I see you. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming. Julie Isse, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming. Today our topic is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. Okay, the first one is they choose the type of job they do. Yeah, they choose the type of job they do. Most African parents want their children to become engineers, doctors, or lawyers. And I was talking about my son who wanted to become a firefighter, and everybody had something. I don't remember I saw anybody that encouraged my son whenever he said that he wanted to be a firefighter. I think I was literally the only one that was encouraging that child and nurturing that vision that he had, that passion that he had in him. But later on in life, as he grew older, going through school, he felt like no, that was just a child's thing because he had toys around firefighting and he decided to go another way. But then I see firefighting as people say it's risky, you have to deal with fire. Of course, if my house catches fire, I will need someone's child in firefighting to come and rescue me. What do you think about that? Who do you think that should go to firefighter and rescue the community? If my child has decided to save life, go for it. You have my blessings. Go for it. Go higher in that career and rescue as much people as God will put on your path to rescue from fire. I mean, when someone does something with passion, they can go far and beyond that. Let me see what the comments say. Too much pressure always want to intimidate others. Too much pressure always want to intimidate others. Firefighter have levels you can progress in that job, right? Thank you. You are very right, host. That passion is more important. Thank you. I can see with you, this wise bunny, I can see with you that in some Asian families too. That's true. Oh, Asians too, yeah. That's true. Sharon family says, hey, Bunny. Uh, Okay, guys, we are caught up with the comments unless there's something that I did not read. The passion is very important in our children, we African parents. When you see your children and when you see your children having a passion in a domain, don't discourage them. Nurture that passion and they will excel in that domain when they are doing what they like. It's about their happiness. It's not about us. It's not about I should come here and brag, and brag. It's not because everybody doesn't like firefighting now. So that hey, when I was sitting with my friend, while they will be saying that their children are doctors and engineers, I will be here saying that my child is a firefighter. No, don't feel that pressure on you. Everybody is called for the purpose. Everybody has a purpose here. Even before God put that child in your womb, he knew about the child. He knew what that child was. He knows why he's sending that child here through you to nurture. And a lot of parents don't we realize that we kill our children's passion. They come here for a purpose. We just kill them and then we grow up purposeless and we wonder why they go astray. We wonder why they go astray because we never nurtured the passion they came out with. We never nurtured the purpose they came. We never gave them guidance. We never gave them guidance. Number two, let's talk about number two. And comes then here you come. Another pressure from African parents. Well, comes then, do you have my cheat sheet? Do you have my cheat sheet? Another pressure from African parents is when and who to marry. Oh my lord, I can write a book on that. That is actually my second point. The person they will marry or the pressure you to marry. Oh my goodness. As Cobbs then rightly said, you can actually write a book on that. Who you will marry, when to marry. You are when I remember I was just I went when I went to when I went to the professional school, when I come back. I mean this one I don't know African parents like in our parents' generation. You will just be like, is there nobody? Has nobody said, don't you have anybody? Is nobody interested in you? So they make you feel like you are already an outcast. When you go for your friend's wedding and you come back, there is a question. There is a question. Where wise money say comes then write a book, it be number one selling. Someone says that comes then must be psychic. Rosalie just said comes then thank you very much. You too. Yeah. When I come back, they are just like there's no when I go for a friend's wedding and come back, when will your own wedding be? When will your own wedding be? Who is there nobody? Some parents even go as far as choosing their children's spouse. They put pressure until some children succumb to this pressure and find themselves in wrong marriages. They find themselves, they pressure you until you are just getting married so that your parents and you see them. The wedding will not even be about you. You don't have anything to say about your wedding. It's your parents. They want that the wedding should look like this so that my friend should see that my friend's child's wedding was this. And that pressure pattern continues in the community. Comes then, you don't want me to carry my grandchildren. Sometimes they put this pressure of grandchildren on you. Sometimes some parents even put this pressure on of grandchildren. They don't mind about your happiness. They just mind about grandchildren. And it's not even about, I mean, I would have even wished that when they want these grandchildren, it should be like, you want children and they say, oh, that's true, I would really love to be a grandparent. No, it's about them. They don't want that shame. Even Christian parents do that. They don't want that shame. What will people say? That what happened to my child? What will people say? That's the only reason you want grandparent, that grandchildren. You don't want grandchildren. I mean, the African parents don't even want grandchildren because they have saved some money or some money for the children and they want the grandchildren to inherit. No, they just want the children for the name. How many African parents have actually invested for their children, let alone grandchildren, that they are waiting for the grandchildren to dispatch that money out for, or that inheritance out to, or that legacy out to? It's just they want grandchildren for the grandchildren name. They want to belong. They want to belong to their community. I hope I'm missing no one in the comments. Thank you guys for coming. I have 12 people in the building. I really, really appreciate. Thank you so much. Parents should let their children to make and choose and support them in prayers. Thank you so much, Roslyn G. Smith TV. Thank you so much. That's so true. As parents, we are supposed to bring up this, train the children according to what the Word of God says in the book of Proverbs. That should be in the book of Proverbs, chapter. Let me see. That's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, that when he is old, he will not depart. That's how the way the child should go. We should train up the child in that way, so that when he grows, he will not depart. Then, when you have Cobbs then said, then when you have grandchildren, how can you have only two children? Why are you denying your kids of more siblings? Oh, yeah. That's it. When you have the grandchild, you don't even see what they've done to the grandchild. They are like, why do you have only two? Why do you have only this? Why are you tying those children in your womb? You've tied children and kept them in your womb. What have you done with the one God has already given them? What have you done to the two God has? You only speak so that you need to see them when they're in their companies, in their peer companies. Oh, I have my daughter. She already has two kids. Her husband is an engineer, and she too is a doctor. They just take pleasure, derive pleasure in talking about it. That's just empty pleasure, empty pride. There's no purpose in that. All those. I wish they could even do something with some purpose. You can give your child a guidance towards something. If your child, I would really love, I wish, I mean, I don't have any problem with the parents say, I would really love to see you happy one day in your home to marry, not putting pressure. If you don't bring a husband today, I'll disown you. Or I want to see you with a wife, or don't talk to me again. So conditional relationship. Wise Bunny is asking, Cubs then, don't they understand birth isn't easy? They don't care. They don't care. All is about them. Also, getting pregnant isn't easy too as well, right? Wise Bunny, they will tell you they went through birth over 6 times. That angle is not a starter. Yeah, they forget that your life is independent of them. The way their health status is not your health status. Yeah, haven't parents seen their children die on childbirth table? They do, but they did not die. They have 10 children, but their child couldn't even handle one. So you cannot compare your health status to your child's health status. Rose says they are not the ones to stay in the marriage, so they should not let them live their lives. They should let them live their lives. That's true. They are not the ones to come and live. They just wonder you should be married for the fun of it. Many pop out babies like candy. Yeah, you just pop out babies without purpose. It's not about bearing the children. It's about bringing them up, because if you just deliver children without being responsible, those children will grow up like trees and you will have nothing out of them. When you have children, know that you have nations. If you have three, know that you have three nations, or three mothers of nations in your house. So bring them up in that purpose, to stand where they were sent to stand. And even when some of the parents have, say 6 kids, and 5 out of those kids are married with kids, they will so pick on the one that isn't married with kids. That's true. Lady Zion Sweet Home, welcome, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you. I'm so happy to see you here today, Lady Zion Sweet Home. You are so welcome. Today, our topic is 10 unrealistic expectation African parents set on their parents, and we are going through number two. The first one is they choose the type of job you will do, and secondly, the second one was they choose they choose when to marry. They put pressure on you to marry, and they choose the person. Sometimes they even choose the person that you will marry. That's what we are talking on. Now we are talking about the marriage expectation. Some parents even go as far as saying that if you don't bring a wife, you don't bring a husband, I will disown you. Don't talk to me until you see that love is so on love is so conditional that they relate to you because of how they feel with their friends. It's all about peer pressure. African parents, we need to stop this. Encourage your children towards marriage. Encourage your children towards marriage. Didi is the next king. Oh, sorry. Didi is the next king. Thank you for coming to the live stream. I really appreciate you coming, Didi. I'm happy to have you here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It was really a nice time with you yesterday, Didi, I must say. Today, our topic is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. Yeah, African parents have this list of unrealistic expectations that they set on their children that are just too harsh. And we have already seen number one, the kind of job your children will do, the African parents will choose. They want you to become either doctor, lawyer, or engineer. The second one is the person, they put pressure on you, they put you pressure to marry. Sometimes they even choose who to marry. You are 30 years, you've not married, all your friends are married, or your friends are there, or your friends are this. Your friend already has two children. You are here in my house, going out and coming in. You don't bring husband and this. That is not right to do. We can encourage children, nurture them towards when your child is single, nurture them towards being good wives, nurture them towards being good husband, if at all that is what is set on their part. It's not an obligation to get married, because if you are obliging someone who doesn't just feel as getting married, they will not make a good home. Parents have forced, how many forced marriages have we seen that did not end up well? Wise Bunny say, hence why there are many children either living on streets or living in assisted housing. That is true. You just give a birth to irresponsible kids. You just give birth to children irresponsibly, and the children find themselves loose in nature. They just find themselves loose around, and they end up in prison. I don't say that everybody in prison is. I mean, uh, things happen, but then we should not be responsible for this thing because of the way we have set our mindset. African parents love controlling their children. That's true. That's so true. There is a boy in my class living by himself, and he is my age. So what happened to him? So what happened to him? They have to put this pressure. Let's see the third point. Let's go to the third point. The third point is they okay. This another one comes there. This another one, my people. Let's listen to this one. They have projects for their daughters' husbands to accomplish. In Africa, sometimes when you have your daughter, right? Educated or not educated, you are there. You've built your house and you've not roofed it. Yeah, some parents, some African parents, you've built your house and you've not roofed. It doesn't mean that we are not saying that African parents are bad. We are just listing some unrealistic things that they add in their parents. Some parents add in their parenting skill. They have a house. They are expecting that when my daughter's husband will come, they will roof this house. They are the one to buy that land for me. It's all about them. Your daughter's husband is coming. You are not looking forward to seeing if your daughter will be in a good marriage, in a happy relationship. You are just there saying, when my daughter husband will come, I will make them roof this house. You see on unrealistic bride prices that they will give to this poor boy. In fact, that's too much, right? That's just too much for them. They give some unrealistic bride price that you even look. Some boys even run away from the relationship because they cannot afford the bride price. Or they just set this unrealistic expectation that my daughter will marry a rich man. When you come, they look at you. What do you work, my son? They ask you what you work. They ask you what you work. What do you work? Why, comes and why do you think they ask You what you work, what is your career? If you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, if you say I'm a farmer, look at the eyes that will look at you. They say that that's the kind of person that you're bringing to our family. You are bringing disgrace to the family. They set this expectation on their daughters to marry rich men, and then they are only looking. That's what has set most girls. They are looking out for these rich tycoons. When you want to marry them, all they look is if you ride a car, if you have a television in your house. In those days, when you had a cell phone, that you are a good candidate to marry someone's child. They are just happy about the car that you brought. They're just excited. See, he has a car, he rides a car. Not like marrying a man that has a car is a bad thing. But then, if that is your sole criteria, you've missed it because you end up in a wrong marriage. Parents put that expectation on their, especially parents put those expectation on the daughters to marry a man. This man will have to buy me a house. This man, if that expectation is not on your daughter, it is on the man that you marry, that they start putting this unrealistic expectation. They want the man to solve all family problem. There is family problem that are bothering that man. There is this happen here. They say they call my daughter's husband. There is this here. Your daughter's husband has this. The expectation is just too heavy on that man. Please, let's stop these kind of things. If your daughter has to marry, just pray that they should have a good marriage. They can make it. If they have something for you, it will come your way. It shouldn't be an expectation that you lay on them that you have to build me a house. Every my friends that my friend's daughter married and the husband came. You need to see their compound now. They have built the compound. He bought their father-in-law a new car. He built the father-in-law a new house. He took them to abroad and brought them back. Look at you here. You can do nothing to us. No, all that peer pressure is not good for our children. Didi. Didi says that if you show a white man to some African parents, the man he own don't finish. That's true. They even choose the tribe. They choose the person. That's what we said. They choose the person that you will marry. You bring someone from another race instead of seeing what is in this person that my son or my daughter has seen. Interview them. See what is their vision. What is my daughter after, and see if there is a purpose in this marriage. Find out if there is a future in it. They don't look at it just because they see your skin color is different or your race is different. They block their mind to reason. Some parents even just refuse. I have a friend who actually wanted to marry. He said that they love themselves. Him and this girl, dominant man. Welcome to the live stream. How are you today? I have a friend. He's in love with this girl, and they have accepted to live their lives together. But because the girl is from a rich family, they don't stand. That father doesn't stand to see that boy. But they love themselves, and they are not married because their parents don't want them to marry. Too much expectation. The father is like, I know, like over my dead body with this boy. Will I even have something to talk? I cannot even sit to look at this boy. Happy after marriage is the most valuable, Julie. Happy after marriage is the most valuable. This is why Africa is still living 100 years behind. Yeah, we need to be sensitized and know about these things so that we know how to raise our children in a way that will give them freedom and independence when they grow up, that they live their lives to the fullness, right? Me, I feel like what I wish for myself is what I wish for my children. My parents actually nurtured me in my direction. My dad is one of the person that actually inspired me. He's never said that be this or be that. What I choose to be is what I had passion for from when I was small. But not all parents in Africa are like that. Some parents can really put pressure on people. Some parents can really put pressure on people. Amy Tonya, welcome to the live stream. Good morning, my dear. Thank you for coming. Today's topic is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. And we've already seen three of them, the kind of job they should do. African parents want all their children to be engineers, doctors, or lawyers, sometimes pilots. Number two is they put pressure on their children for marriage, pressure to marry who they should marry. Number three, they said we put realistic expectation on their daughters, spouses. They give them horrible projects to accomplish, even when it's a poor boy. And if it is a poor boy, they don't even want to see him around the compound. Even if their daughter loves them and they have a vision together, they feel like they fit in each other's purpose. Parents don't want to hear that purpose thing, they just want money. And then another one from some African parents is that whatever difficulty you face in marriage, just remain there. Very dangerous in some cases. Wow, that's another one to comes. And thank you for that one. They don't even nurture you on how. The thing is this: they don't even guide you on how to deal with marriage. The thing, marriage is for better and for worse. That's what the Bible says. But I think our parents should be we as parents, we should be able to equip our children to be able to live these marriages to the fullest. We are not supposed to educate them to endure abuse until they lose their lives. Right? We are not supposed to educate them to endure abuse and lose their life. You have to also teach them a way to save your life, right? Because I will not want my daughter to be somewhere to be killed, to be killed in the name of marriage. You have to run for your life. What you can do, do it, and God will do the rest. Many families live old school. They don't see we are in 21st century. That's true. What about footballers? They now push also. What about footballers? They now push us. Are you saying that they want their children to be footballers, or they think that football? Because back in Africa, if it is in the diaspora, I think, yeah, parents want their children to be footballers. But if it's back home, if you say they want to be a footballer, they look at you as someone who has lost, who wants to bring curse to the family. Marriage is not for dead. That's true. Many are getting killed in marriages. We are not supporting that either. And then some parents want their children to repay the investment they made for their studies. Oh my goodness. Even some parents educate their children or pay fees for their children to get education. Somewhere along the line, they want their children to repay that investment that they made in them. Look at me. Why all my then this is how they talk to the children. Why all my friends were there building houses, I was paying school fees for you, and now that you are something, you don't even want to build this big house for me. They set this unrealistic expectation for their children to give them the standard of life that they would have had without them. Means you have your wealth, and you would have preferred to use this wealth to build up mansion, but along the way you had kids, and you decided to use this wealth on your children, and now they are grown up. So now you want your children to give you the life that you would have lived if you didn't have them to sponsor. Do you see how heavy these burdens look? Some parents are really like that. They say, why my friends were doing this, I was there, you be busy using my money to sponsor you, and now look at my brother John's children have come back and built a big mansion for their father. That's what you would have done to me too. I sponsor you and you are just there. People, some people sponsor their children and they end up in jail. Should they ask their kids in prison to come, and their children who went to prison to come and build them? Some people keep in mind, some people sponsor their children and they die. Would they dig their graves to ask them to come and repay? Some people sponsor their children and they excel in life and they succeed. They become very wealthy that building them a mansion is not even a problem. Taking them abroad is not even a problem. Some people sponsor their children and the children can just barely live, survive for themselves. Why should we lay this expectation? It is not because your friends sponsor their children and they are doing well, they can build them a house, that you have to lay that same expectation on your children because you actually sponsor them in school. No. When we as parents, we are educating these children, investing in their lives and investing in their future. We want them to grow up to be who God has called them to be. We want to train them up to we want to train them up in the way they should go so that when they grow they will not depart. That's our sole responsibility, is to see our children fulfill the purpose of God in their life. And if that purpose warrants them to excel and also take care of us, we bless the Lord for that. If that purpose is to warrant them to be happy and they are living the bare minimum, we should be happy and praise God for that. Some people now, you expect your children to give you a befitting lifestyle at your old age. What about those who don't have children? Who will give it to them? Don't lay your retirement burden on your solely on your children. Have a plan for yourself. Because some children, some are here abroad, barely surviving on public funds. Some are living on food stamp. Some are living on public aids. But the parents are laying some responsibilities on them that are just so unrealistic. Oh, I want you to zinc my house when they are barely surviving in a public apartment. I want you to do this project where they are there barely surviving on public funds. Those expectations are just so unrealistic. You want them to pay you back because you actually sponsor them. Thank you, Cops, then for giving that warm welcome and reminder to everyone in the stream. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. It is very important to know the type of family our kids are getting into. Parents own their kids' prayer at all time. Kids need to care for their parents. Yeah, the Bible call upon parents, upon kids to honor their father and your mother. And the thing is that we personalize this honor that God has ordered our children to honor us in the way that we want. Honoring your parent can be in some kids find that to honor my parents, I can give them a treat to take them abroad and take them back home. Some kids honor their parents like, okay, I can build, if they are able, I can build my dad a mansion in his old age. Some kids honor their parents by having a good relationship and be there for their parents and support them. Some kids cannot afford it financially. Welcome your kids to offer the best that they have to honor you. The thing is that we start comparing. There are some kids that are available, they have the time to go spend with their children. Some don't, some send money. We should be open to what our children have become. And the fun is that most of the time we set this expectation, our children are barely still struggling to stand on their own. They are still struggling to build their own foundation. But we are already there because we heard that they graduated in a law school. They graduated as an engineer. We know how here in the diaspora, when we graduate, even with that engineer, to get a job is not a day's job. We are already sending this project. Come and build my mansion. This compound is here waiting for you. That child doesn't even have an apartment. He's patching in people's basement. Sharing rooms with a friend, and you're already telling that child that that compound there back home is waiting for them to come and build. Please, parents, we need to be aware. We need to be aware and educate ourselves on the kind of expectation we set our children. We should on our children. We should tell them that we are happy for who you are. Get better. We encourage them. If you are going to school, get better. Wish you the best. I want to hear that you have succeeded. If you are still looking for a job, pray for them that God should show them the way. It might be one day they might excel to the standard that you want, but that pressure that you are putting on them, quick, 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 quick. Are you not married? Are you not married? The man is still there trying to see how he can even survive to become independent and get his life going. You are already putting marriage pressure in his head, in his head, in his head. It is not good. We have to nurture and guide them, not put unrealistic pressure. We should instead focus on their happiness and not on our self gratification. Yeah, that was the fourth point. The fifth one is some African parents control their kids' marriages. Yeah. Yesterday I went to a premiere, a Blue Jeans Network premiere. He's not here today. He was talking about things that women should never tell their husbands. He made a point that you should never tell your husband that my dad is the my dad is the best guy I have ever seen. Like, he's the best, something like my dad is the best man I've ever seen. Okay, you are in your marriage. You did not leave your parents. The Bible says that man shall leave his father and his mother. You leave them, okay? And then you cleave to your wife and you two will become one. Now, some parents do not even let their sons go. They still come to have a say in their son's marriage. They come into the marriage and they see the woman. They ask, "What are you doing here? Hmm? That happens, especially when your mother-in-law comes to live with you. They look at you. What are you doing here? Your son has not complained to you. Caesar's Diaries, welcome, welcome to the building, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us in the live stream. Thank you and welcome to you. Our topic today is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents go through, and we are on the fifth one. Some African parents control their children's marriages. They don't let their children go to marriage. Their children are there, and everything that means they're just there. Everything that is going on in that marriage, they want to know about it. What happened today? Everything. When something happens in their kids' marital home, they are already calling the parents to say, "Oh, daddy, this, mommy, daddy, this man did this," or the man is calling mommy, this woman is like this woman is like that. Please, parents, stay away from your children's marriage affairs. What you can do, you can give guardians. Don't want to be part of that daily marriage life. The moment you feed yourself into your children's daily marriage life, you have ruined it. It will not work. Let them be. Just let them be. And be on standby as a prayer person for their marriage. If you can do something for your children's marriage, pray for it. Don't get into it and have to stick your nose every time, everywhere there is a small misunderstanding. You are already there. They are giving you daily updates every morning, every evening before they go to bed. They call you for daily updates, and you are there answering. Why did he say like that? Why did she do like that? Why can't she do like that? Where does she come from? What background does she have? Julie says it is so good to do our best as children because it brings in more open doors. Parents should not control their kids' home. Parents should not control their kids' home. And the kids should not give access for parents to control their homes. You know, if you don't control your kids' home, you can be like a standby. If those kids come to you someday that, daddy, how did you do this? We are struggling in this domain. Help us. You can throw your advice and bless them. Know that you stand there and every little thing you are monitoring and you are asking questions. It's about time you have the next child. You are tying those children in your womb. It's about time all your friends have built. You guys are not building. It's about time all your friends have done this. Have you not done that? Yes. Coach there is laughing that they call you for a daily updates. Yeah, some men do that. They call their mothers for daily updates. And that's how that when you do that, you are a man, you are calling your mother for daily, most of the time, negative updates about your wife. You are building a monster, you are creating a monster against your wife that will eat you. And trust me, that monster that you are creating against your wife will turn your wife into a monster against you. You are just creating a pattern of monsters. Lower that thing. Sorry, guys. So parents should leave their kids home alone, leave their kids' marriages to them. They will run it. You can be on standby for prayers. If you see something, go in prayers. Don't go in there and try to be part of the marriage. The Bible said that they left you and they left you, mama, they left you, daddy, and they are now one. What you can do for them is to pray for them and wish them well. If they run to you for guidance, offer it, bless them, and go back to prayers and leave them live their lives. What did he say? What did you people do? What are you people doing about this? No, that's not good. Those are just some kind of expectation. Your daughter goes for marriage. You are expecting your daughter to call you after you are expecting your daughter to call you after the honeymoon or the next day. Mom, it went like this or it went like that. You are expecting your daughter to give you daily living, how she's living with her husband. No. Please, when your children grow up, grant them independence, bless them, let them go, and remain in prayers for them as godly parents. Your part of training is done. You ought to have trained them up in the way that they should go. And when they are independent, they will not depart. And the Bible also says that fathers What did the Bible say? What did the Bible say to fathers? Provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Caesar's diary says very bad. That's true. It's really, really bad. That is, Julie says that is why we need to be careful of the type of family our kids get into. Some women are very controlling in nature. That's not good. You cannot be controlling and you help your children. You cannot. You have to train your children in a way that when they grow up and they are getting their independence, grant them their independence. It is being mature. Quinty's Naturals. Hi, host. Welcome, Quinty's Naturals. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you coming in today. Our topic today is 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. And we are on the fifth one. It says, on the fifth one, it's talking of how parents control their children's marriages. They refuse to grant them independence when they are going out for marriage. They want to keep control. They control you and want to control everything about you. Offer yourself as a resource to your children when they have gained their independence. If they can come back to you, appreciate it. If they don't come back to you, pray for them. Pray for them and offer advice, offer guidance, not control. Did you do it this way? I told you to do it this way. If you don't do it this way, don't call me again. I'll disown you. And you start uttering curses. Thanks for the shout out, sis. This is very good topic. Thank you so much, Quincy. What do you think about this unrealistic expectation that African parents set on the children? Comes then says some parents do not like that scripture. They rather drown you with the one that honor your father and your mother, so your days might be long. Yeah, comes then you're right. That particular scriptures in Ephesians chapter 6, right? A lot of people misquote that. That scripture starts from verse 1, children. Yes, that's a place in the Bible where God actually calls out people by their, I don't know, names or titles. When he's talking to children, he's not talking to parents. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. Wives, submit to. But the thing is that in these verses, fathers, masters, this. But the thing in that passage is that comes then. Many people leave their part and they want to supervise what God has told the other person. Fathers don't see that God has asked them to not provoke their children to wrath. What they do is they supervise the children obedience and they supervise the wives. The husbands are supervising the wives submission and the wives are supervising the husbands love, and there's just a chaos in the interpretation of that chapter because people are not taking their responsibility. And if we come to this passage of Ephesians from chapter 1, if everybody in the family takes their position, it will be a wonderful family. Children don't like the passage that says children obey to your parents. Wives don't like the verse that says wives submit to your husband. Husbands don't like the one that they say, husband, love your wife. Fathers don't like the one that they say, father, do not provoke your children to wrath. Everybody doesn't like their own, they only like the other person's own. What a confusion. We shouldn't provoke our children to wrath. If your children even want you out of their marriage, stay away. Cynthia World TV, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Shout out to you. Welcome. We are happy to have you in the building today. We have 14 people in the building and 15 likes. Yay, guys. We are so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you for participating. I really, really appreciate your comments. It keeps the chat going. We thank you so much for your comments. Welcome, Cynthia World TV. We are seeing 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children, and we are on the fifth one about parents controlling their kids' marriage. Sometimes your kid's spouse wants you out of their marriage. Stay out of the marriage. Respect that fact. Because when you don't want to stay, maybe your kid's spouse or your kid's wife wants the mother-in-law out. Mother-in-law, stay out, because when you are forcing yourself, then you want your son to choose you over their wife. Caroline eats all. Hello, welcome, Caroline. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Caroline. It's all. Welcome. Today we are talking about 10 unrealistic expectation that African parents set on their kids. Okay, so we are on the fifth one, that is, we said they control their kids' marriages. If your kids' spouse wants you out of their marriage because it's too much of you in their marriage, please respect that and stay away. Yeah. I am already making up myself that when my kids get married, I'm just there as a standby, praying for them, wishing to see them happy, praying to see them happy, praying to see them make it, to live their happiness to their fullness. And if they ever come to me for advice, I have something to offer them and I let them go after I offer it. Yeah, because I myself, I don't want my mother-in-law or my in-laws in my marriage running me up and down, or I don't want my parents in my marriage running my husband up and down. No, I want to be independent and see that we make it. Most quinties, natural African parents in particular expect children to do things always the way the parents want, without thinking about the children's own mental state at that point in time. I think that is wrong. That is very wrong. That's what we are talking about here. Quinties, natural. Exactly. Thank you so much for that comment. That is in line with what we are talking about. We are, as African parents, we should not provoke our children to anger. Sometimes we want our self gratification. We want them to live their marriage in the way we want. We want them to live our marriage in the way we want, not in the way they are happy to do. Sometimes when they start pleasing us, they go on depression. Haven't you seen people here being depressed because of the demands that are coming from home that they cannot meet up with? Sometimes it is every auntie that ever gave you a pen when you were studying. They are giving you this expectation, giving you this burden, and they are depressed here, but they are not saying it. Most parents hold on to a specific Bible verse and never let go of it. It's not a bad thing to hold on to a Bible verse, but the problem is the misinterpretation of the Bible verse. When you misinterpret the Bible verse to fit your selfish desires, that is what is not good. We have to use the Bible to raise our kids, to train up the children in the way they should go. Sometimes we are training up the children in the way we want. It's not in the way the Bible wants. Because the Bible wants us not to provoke these children to wrath. But we provoke them to wrath, but we don't even realize it. We don't even accept that we are provoking our children to wrath. We only focus on children obey their parents, but what God has asked us to do to the children, we are not doing. We are not training up the children in the way they should go. They have a way they are going to, because the Bible said that even from their mother's womb, God knew them. God had a purpose for them right from their mother's womb. But when you bring them out, you are not trying to see where will this child fit. Each child, when you have different children, I have 5 children, and each child is unique and different from the other. The other one doesn't do like the other one. The other one doesn't. Some are easy, some are not. And everyone is personalized to their way. So even the way you approach them is unique. You don't have to compare. Comes then say, welcome everyone. Please remember to thumbs up and share the stream if you can. Thank you so much, God. Then I appreciate you moderating. My big sis, happy weekend. They miss Yo-Yo. Okay. Julie say, Quinty's natural say they have to understand that the way children feel before thinking of themselves, they should also let children learn to take decisions for themselves. This also helps them to be independent and decisive. Thank you so much, Quinty's TV. We had already talked about them before, right? What we are saying is support of what we have said. You have to let them graduate them into their independence. They were under you when you were training them up to be where according to how they should go. Now graduate them into their independence and let them make decisions for themselves. Sometimes they will make mistakes and learn from their mistake, or they might run to you for guidance if they need help. Then let them be independent for themselves and take the decision without you always being there. Sometimes, like guys, Like now, sometimes when I'm teaching my kids, like I have one in second grade, when I'm teaching them maths, she doesn't understand a concept. And I see that she's going through a route that she can fail. I let her go through that route and fails it and actually sees what she failed. She will take it over, and then now I'll guide her through it. I let her do it intentionally. I just let her do it intentionally. When I intentionally let her go through that. Now she knows, this one is not right. But if I keep just helicoptering her, hovering over them, like, what what if you are not there today? Teach your children to be independent tomorrow. You don't control your children in a way that when they go to marriage, you follow them, then you want to control their marriage. It doesn't work that way. You will not appreciate if your in-laws came to control your marriage. And even if they are doing it for you, I don't think you are really happy about it. And you don't do it to others what you don't want others to do to you. Um Provocation leads to anger. Yeah, when you provoke your children, they probably becomes angry, and we provoke them in various ways. In these controlling ways, we provoke our children. Julie says, say, why do people like their own way, not thinking about the Bible way, even in everyday that most parents, even the so-called Christian parents, don't bring up their children in the Bible way. They just bring them up in societal pressure, competition way. They just say that person's child did this. I also want my child to do this so that when we sit, we can relate. No, each child is going their own direction and is different. Yeah, each child has their purpose and is going their own way. All you need to do is pray that God will use them to fulfill what they came here for. Oh, Roslyn gives me say, yeah, that's what I meant. They hold on to the wrong interpretation and never let go of it. Yep, they use the Bible scripture and quote it to satisfy their selfishness, right? Quintin Natural say, what about parents always trying to know what's happening in your marriage? Hey, is this right? We talked about that on Quinty TV. We talked about that in the on the we talked about that on the feed on the I think we talked about that in the fifth point, control the kids' marriages, where we said that you are in your marriage home, either you are a woman or a man, you call your parents every day for daily updates. In the morning, you call your mother for nightly updates. In the evening, you call your mom for evening updates. Your mom is update and she's running your home. Do like this, do like that. Don't accept it, don't refuse it. Do like this. Or if you and your spouse, you reflect on something, on a decision about your family, the next person you consult, mom, guess what? My wife want that we should do this. Mom, guess what? My husband is saying that we should do this. What do you think? It's about what your mother thinks. It's not about what you and your husband think. It's not good. It will not make you thrive. I don't think your spouse will appreciate that. It is not good. Keep your parents away from your marriages. I don't mean that you should dishonor them, but keep your parents out of your marriage and run that marriage independently, you and your husband, because the two of you are the ones that made the covenant before God. Uh, Exactly. And when the kids are angry, they become rebellious. That's true. When you provoke your kids to anger, when they are angry, they become rebellious. And when they become rebellious, you become more furious. It's not even about you helping your kid. You are thinking about the name they are portraying. Oh, my friends would say that. Oh, my friends would say that my kid has done this. You should actually feel for that kid, that what is happening, that this kid is going astray. How can I help them? You are just freaking out because, oh, my friends, what a shame, oh, what a shame, oh, my friends will say that my kid is. Meanwhile, my friends' children are engineers and doctors, and my kid is here rebelling. Hey, they say that is whose child? Yeah. It's not about your kids' well-being, it's about you. Right, your kids is in jail. You don't want to remove them in jail because you want something good for them. It's about what your friends will say about you. Peer pressure in African parents is just too much. Host, it takes the grace of God when we talk about children upbringing. That is true. Didi next king. It is so true. It takes the grace of God to bring up children. I believe you. I have 5 children, Didi, and I know what you are talking about. It's the grace of God. We have to pray for wisdom for God to help us to bring up these children. And each child is unique. Each family is unique. Each family is unique. I cannot say that because you had 5 and you did this, I have to do the same. Your child will not respond the same way that other child is responding to that approach. That's why we sometimes we have to customize the approach to fit them in the purpose for which they were called to. Quinty Natural, sorry, I am just coming. That's okay. That's okay. We are chatting. We are in discussion. You are very right, Didi. That's true. Okay. I think that was the fifth point. We already talked about this sixth point already, that the parents expect the children to give the parents expect the children to give them the life they never had. You sponsor your child, you educate them, you send them abroad to study engineering, you send them abroad to become a doctor, and now the life that you would have lived with their tuition, you want that child to offer you that life. That can Your child can come back home or come back to honor you in a certain style. But it shouldn't be an expectation that you have set on that child, that you have to build me a mansion with 10 rooms, or you have to buy me a Mercedes car. Pray for that child and pray for the seed that you've sown, because you are leaving a legacy for the next generation. And part of it is also investing financially for the next generation. If you really don't care about if you really don't care about the next generation, you will not be investing in that child's life. You will work your money and eat. If you give birth to your children, you don't want to sponsor anybody. Nobody will ask you any question. If you really don't care, nobody will ask. But if you care about the next generation, to continue the purpose of God on earth, you will actually sponsor those children to be responsible men tomorrow. And now, if they become responsible men, and you lay another burden for them to back up and then start caring for you instead of fulfilling what they came here for. It's not If you had an opportunity to build your dad a house, you were blessed. Pray for them. If they are blessed that way, you will see the blessings. Instead of laying it as an expectation. It's sometimes unrealistic because these children do it against their wish. And you are there happy and your children are getting depressed. Host, where are you from? I guess you're asking my country, right? I'm a Cameroonian based in the United States. I'm from Cameroon origin, based in the United States. Okay. Uh, Caroline, it's all. Yes, each child responds to something different because each child has a different personality. That's true. A different personality, a different purpose, a different passion. The way I said that I had my son here who wanted to become a firefighter, the way he will respond when I'm nurturing him towards firefighting. If you come and copy that and you go to your child who doesn't want to see fire and you want to nurture them that way, it might be you might see rebellion in your house. You will keep saying that my friend child, when the mother is talking, he's paying attention, but here when I come to talk to you, you throw a tantrum. That child's passion is not in firefighting. Look at that child closely, you see what they like. Nurture them in that domain. Yeah. Nurture them in that domain. Number seven, expect them to marry rich spouses. We have already talked about that in marriage. Expect to be the kids' responsibility at old age. That's what we're talking about. That's what we are talking about. You want to be the kids. You expect to be the kids' responsibility at old age. Thank you, Coach, then for moderating the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Quintis TV says, that's very true. Avoid comparing your kids to others. I think just that is capable of traumatizing them. That's just enough to traumatize them. That's true. You expect them to You compare them. You're always comparing them. Don't you see how your sibling is? Don't you see how your sibling is? Don't you see how your cousins are doing? Your cousin is this. Why can't you be like that? Look at you. You are too this. You are too short. You are too ugly. You are too fat. You are too tall. You are too naive. You don't know maths. You don't know this. Stella Secret Place, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for coming. Mommy Stella, thank you so much for coming, for joining us. We appreciate you here. Shout out to you and welcome to the live stream. Today we are talking about 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. And we are going through them right now. We are talking about uh, they want to be the kids' responsibility at old age. I mean, if you don't plan for your life and you think that you'll be your children's responsibility at old age, I know that our society, I mean, life is in a way that when our parents get old, we take care of them. But I don't feel like it has to be. an expectation that you set on them. Because I want the way I see life, sometimes we don't even know who. We have seen children dying before their parents. We have seen parents bury their children. Now, what will you do with your expectation if you set on those? What will those parents who bury their children do with that expectation that they have set to be burden on the kids' responsibility at old age? What would they do when they bury those children? So I think to be in a better position, plan your life. And if God blesses your children and they come back to honor you in a way that is more than what you have planned, that is a blessing. Receive it and thank God. Because when you set it as an expectation, what if your children don't make it up to that level to be able to carry you as a responsibility when you are old? You will see that you will live a depressed old age because your expectations are not met. You'll be a grumpy grandpa or a grumpy grandma because you keep saying it's a shame that my children cannot take care of me. It's a shame that all my peers, their children have taken them abroad. Their children have taken them abroad to live with them, but my children cannot take me abroad. It's a shame that my peers, their children have come and built them their houses and they have put their parents on monthly allowance, and my children, do you know what that peer children are doing? Do you even know what your peers are going through in their children's house abroad? Do you know whether they are going there through depression and withdrawal and all the torture that they are seeing? That maybe you are better off staying in your home. Do you know why do you always have to think that your children should do this? Sometimes your children are not even up to the capability of taking care of you the way you want them to. But then I just think you should be recommend that you should be in a position where plan for your life, and if God gives you more, you receive it with grace and bless the Lord. It shouldn't be an expectation that my children will give me this standard of life. Like I'm already saying that when my children, by the time my children will graduate, they'll build me a mansion with a swimming pool, and then they will take me up to this country. Well, what if your children never make it there? Will you still play for that child? You stop. So many parents have stopped relating relationship to their children because their children have not been able to provide to them what they want or what they need. They see those children as a failure. They feel like they are a disgrace. All my friends have built blue houses or white houses in the neighborhood. I'm still here staying in this house. That is what God has given to you. Be graceful. I mean, be thankful. Feel blessed about it. And that because those your friends living in White House, you don't know the torture that are living on under. Those your friends' kids who build that White House for their parents, you don't know the relationship they have with their bank. You don't know the pressures that debt collectors are having on them that you might not want to hear or you might not want your own children to go through. All this peer pressure, I recommend that we don't put that burden or that responsibility or that expectation on our children that they will carry our burden when we are old. Plan for your old age, pray for your children, and if God bless your children, if your children actually grow up in the way that they should not depart and practice the word of God that says honor your parents, they will come back to honor you in one way or the other. It is not always the way you think. Keep in mind that it shouldn't always be the way you think. It might be the way beyond, or sometimes the way if it is the way beneath, is because your expectations were too high and you will fail to appreciate whatever your children do to you. So when you set high as expectation, we have many children, if you can relate, a lot of children feel that their parents don't appreciate what they do to them because their expectation were set too higher than now you give something to your parents or you do something to your parent or to your family member and you feel like oh my god, I did it, and they take it and they don't even appreciate it because their expectations were too high, because setting this high expectation only leads us to ungratefulness and disappointment. Even here abroad, right? We even we parents here in the diaspora, We also set this unrealistic expectation to our children. You see, oh, their children is in football, their children is in singing, their children is in dancing, and you are forcing your children. You just want that. When parents see so much, you just want to say, my daughter is dancing ballet, my son is playing football, my son is doing this or doing that, and your own, you listen to that, you come back home, you sign up your children for this. They don't want it. That is too much on them. They say, mom, I cannot do this. They don't want that. It has too much pressure on them. Unrealistic expectations. They will not do well. Instead of just training your children, nurturing them to excel in what they have to do, stop comparing them to others. Stop comparing them to others. You see, this one's kid, they are able to do this, they are able to do that, but you are here, all you can do is this. Don't compare these children. Some other children are blessed to have A grades, even without extra effort, without their parents putting pressure on them. But you come back to your own house, you are saying, my friend's children are having A grades, and you are here, all you can do is B. Maybe your child has done their best, and that is what they can afford. Encourage them in that domain to be better, not comparing them with another person's child. You might even be looking at that person's child dancing ballet, and you have a child in your house that can do well with music, and you overlook it, and you are focusing on something that's someone else's gift. Maybe you have a child in your house that just loves to do plumbing. You feel like plumbing is outcast. You say, instead of doing as a side activity for that child, learn how to do plumbing or fix things or fix electrical appliances. You now want your child to do like your friend's child. These are just unrealistic expectations that just bring unnecessary competition, guys. Focus on your home, focus on your children, and learn and study your children to see where their passion is driven, and encourage them in that domain and train them up in that path. If you see that your child can sing well, encourage them to sing well. Don't come to a child that like to play music or piano and be forcing them to sing because your friend's child sing and you want to say to that your child sings. It will never be that way. There is something that your child is doing that other person's child is not doing. No comparison. Each child has different struggles and different talents. That was number 9. We're saying you compare your child to others and then sign them up for extra curriculum because you feel gratified, not about the child. So guys, these parents, another expectation, everything is about them. We had already talked about this. Everything is about the parents. It's not about that. All these things that parents do is all about the parents, not about the children. It is so selfish. Well, we don't have to be selfish. The moment you are compelling your child to do something and you feel it and your child doesn't feel, you are happy about it and your child is not happy about it, revisit that idea again and see how you can do better to raise up a better generation. Yeah, let's raise up a better generation. No comparison. Each child has different struggle and different talent. That is so true. That is so true. Thank you so much, guys. I really, really appreciate you coming here today. We have gone through the 10 points of unrealistic expectations that African parents set on their children. And in fact, we have come to conclusion that these unrealistic expectations are just selfish expectations. We do not have a relationship with our children that will nurture them. We want them to be dependent on us even when they grow up, that everything around their life is revolving around us, not them. But we are there as parents to nurture these children. And I'll run through the list of this that we saw. They choose the kind of job their children will do. Usually they want their children to become engineers, lawyers, doctors, pilots. And then the second one, they put pressure on their kids to marry, and sometimes they even choose the person their kids will marry. And then they impose projects on their daughters' spouses. Sometimes they put some heavy kind of dowry. One time, guys, I was here at work. I told my co-workers here in the United States that in our culture we have bride price. They say, what's bride price? They didn't really know what bride, and I was so surprised. So I was trying to explain that bride price is when the man is coming to marry a woman and they have to come and pay a price. It can be sum of money associated with gifts, and the parents actually state a request for it. I mean, the parents actually say the price they have to bring. My co-worker said that was human trafficking. Call the others, call the other co-worker, say, come and hear something here. Say what you said. Doesn't that sound like human trafficking? I thought that was hilarious, guys. We need to revisit the way we, in as much as bride price is good, we need to see the way we do it, that we don't do it like with selfish intentions. Like you actually are doing human trafficking, like my coworker said. And then we also like we said, they choose spouses for our kids. I also have another set of friends. They are two of them are friends. They are American parents, of course. So they have been friends for a very long time when their kids were young, and they were babysitting each other's kids. And they have a very good great friendship in a way that they bought their homes side by side, and their families grew up together, but they were never related. So these kids grew up together. One friend had a boy, one friend had a girl, and the two friends were like, "Oh, I wish our kids could get married to each other and will make wonderful parents-in-law." And guess what, guys? They when the kids grew up, they when they suggested that to the kids, the boy said, "Oh no, mom, what are you talking about? I feel like she's my sister." And the girl felt the same way. And the parents were able to let them go their own way, and they married different people, and the families are still happy together. If you were African parent, who you marry by force, you marry them by force. That is not good. The parents, number four, repay the investment they made on your studies. Number five, control the kids' marriages. Number six, expect the children to give the parents the life the parents never had. And then they expect the kids to marry rich spouses. They expect the kids to they expect to be the kids' responsibility at their old age. They compare the children. Number nine, compare the children to other children and want children to imitate or copy from other children instead of nurturing the children to grow up in their own direction. And then number 10 says everything is about them, the parents, nothing about the the children. It's just a selfish attitude that African parents have. And thank you so much, guys, for being here today. I don't know, can we look for someone that we can rate cups then? I hope you're still here. Do you want to look for someone that we can go? Usually, we go rate someone and we go say hi to them. Someone who is live, we go there, we give them thumbs up, we say consistent rate, we greet them. If you have a chance, we can stay there for a few minutes or stay there till the end. That's what we do to encourage somebody and give them a smile on their face. So, guys, Cops, then, are you in? Can you look for someone that we can rate today? So can we rate someone today? Greetings, Stella Secret Place. Welcome. That's Julie Ise welcoming you, Sister Stella. Can someone look for someone that we can rate? Lady Zion's Sweet Home. Thank you, my dear. You say great topic. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, people, so much for the comments, for the inputs. You all guys made this to happen. And I really, really appreciate it. Lady Zion's Sweet Home. Thank you so much. God bless you. We have to raise our kids in the godly way without selfish motivations, without selfish motives. Hi, dear. Congratulations on your monetization before you end. Thank you so much, Kritis Natural. Thank you so much. I got monetized about a month ago. Today is actually a month ago that I got monetized, right, guys? I'm waiting for my first page pay from YT. Hello, Sister Julie says secret place. I don't know if Cobden is in or if someone can look for someone that we can rate. That would be good. That would be so good. Yeah, do you think there's anybody that we can rate? Hello, sis, Lady Zion. Yes, feel free to connect with each other, guys. Feel free to connect with each other. Feel free to connect with each other. And let us as parents, Tricia King, welcome, Tricia King. Thanks for coming in. We are so happy to have you here. Our topic for today was 10 unrealistic expectations African parents set on their children. And and then we were just seeing how we parents set this unrealistic expectation on them, which is not good. Oh, Quinty is requesting for prayers. Oh, thank you so much, dear. And we are just talking to parents how we can do this according to God's way, to not provoke our children to anger or wrath. And Quinty say, okay guys, let's connect, guys. So we pray for the parents. We pray that God should grant us parents wisdom to be able to nurture these children to grow up to be whom they are called to become, not bring them up in our selfish motive. Emitonia said it was so beautiful, host, a lot of information and teachings. Thanks so much for this wonderful message. So, guys, let's pray for the parents. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this live stream. We thank you for everyone that is here in the chat to participate in this chat, sharing their own views on how to raise children. We have actually examined these views according to your word. Father, I pray for the parents out there who are struggling to raise their kids, who are raising kids right now, that Lord, you grant wisdom to each and every parent. You grant the grace to each and every parent to be able to raise up godly children according to your word, not according to selfish motivation. Grant us wisdom. Grant us wisdom, parents, so that we can raise these kids, this generation of kids, to fit into your purpose for which you call them out to be, because you say we should train the child we should train up a child for in the way they should grow, so that when they grow they should not depart. That's how we want to train these children according to your purpose. Grant us wisdom, grant us the knowledge, bless us in this uh, training of children, so that we do not deviate out of this training to do our own way, but we want to do it your own way, and to see what you make our children to become. Thank you for all those who were in the live stream, Lord. Thank you for the participation. That this live stream go a long way to inspire parents. This live stream go a long way to change the way parents are thinking or setting unrealistic expectation, so that all of us can come to awareness, consciousness, and bring up our children in the way you want. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you so much, guys. Julie Ise, can you look for someone that we can rate? Emitonia, can you look for someone that we can rate so we can go visit them and say hi to them? Is anybody live? Is there anybody that is live that we can go check? Let me see here. Julie Ise, can you check Minister of Music? I think he is live. Minister of Music. Minister of Music is live. Minister of Music Terence Tower is live. Can we go rate him and say hi to him? Emitonia, can someone check Minister of Music? Minister of Music Terence. Or can someone see them? Oh, okay, okay then. I don't know. Is he on? Is he live? Like he's silent? Is he silent? Because if he's silent, let's go to someone who is active. I see Happiness Timothy. I see Happiness Timothy. Minister of Music is a kind of silent. Let's go to Happiness Timothy, guys. Can someone drop Happiness Timothy? Let me type in her name here. Happiness Timothy is life. Happiness Timothy is life. Happiness Timothy is life. That's her name. Can someone check happiness Timothy? Oh, is minister like live because I just went there, I think I saw just music. Because if it's just like silent life, we can rate like someone else. Yeah, check happiness. Because I think I saw minister is just music going on there. Let's greet someone that is like on live, like really live and talk. Happiness Timothy. Thank you. Happiness Timothy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Weekend when she checks happiness Timothy, thank you so much, Cubs. Then I appreciate that. If she checks happiness Timothy, guys, we should go in there and say hi to her, give her a thumbs up, and then if you are able to stay, that will be fine. Or just stay for a few minutes and go. That's how we do it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. Cubs, then thank you so much for moderating the chat. Emitonia, thank you so much for coming in today. Uh, Stella Secret Place, I really appreciate you, mommy. Thank you so much. Lady Zion Sweet Home, Tricia King, thank you so much for coming. Uh, Julie Isse, I thank you, my dear. Lady Zion Sweet Home, Quinty's Naturals, Didi Iganex King, thank you so much. Didi Iganex King. Didi Iganex King, my hold on. Oh, you said you didn't have Instagram, so I was trying to tell you my Instagram name. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate you joining us. Caesar's Diary, I really appreciate you. Miss Yo-Yo Show, thank you. Wise Bunny, I really appreciate all of you. Lady Zion, if I've forgotten somebody's name, in fact, it's not intentional. Thank you so so much for coming to the stream. Let's click on happiness. Let's click on happiness and go say happiness consistence rate. Say hi to her, guys. Click on that and say consistence place rate. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go rate happiness. Let me see. Happiness Timothy. Let's go rate her. Guys, let's click on that link and go rate happiness. Let's click on that link, guys, and rate happiness. I would really appreciate it. Give her a thumbs up. Say consistence place rate. That would really be good. In fact, thank you so much, Cubs. Then I see you, Tricia King, Stella Secret Place. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much, and bye. Thank you. See you in the next Saturday, same time at 8 o'clock. Bye.